What's poppin', YouTube family? It's your boy Dwight. Welcome back to the channel, Silverback Sillage. Hope all is well with everybody. If you are a fan of fragrance-related content, make sure you do me a huge favor. Like, comment, and subscribe. And punch that bell icon so you can be notified when I post new content. While summer is barely hanging on by a limb and fall is fast approaching within the next couple weeks, I'd like to bless y'all with my top 12 fall fragrances. Keep it locked. Well, let's get down to business. Like I stated before, we got fall 2023, and my first one is Mont Blanc Legend Night. An extremely affordable scent. First off, you can get it for about that $30, $35 range on discounters. Top notes of sage, bergamot. Heart notes, lavender, violet, vetiver, vanilla. Actually is in the base notes, and cedar wood and patchouli. But this one here is a very, very sweet offering. Hence the color of the bottle as well as far as fall is concerned. But you get a lot of sweet tones when it comes to this fragrance. But as it dries down, the lavender and violet take the forefront, and a creamy vanilla is in there with a little bit of an earthy patchouli dry down. One that I don't see talked about a lot when it comes to fall videos or any videos actually, but it's one in that Mont Blanc family that's pretty dope. Next one. Going to the house of Banana Republic with tobacco and tonka bean. So far my favorite in this line of fragrances from them. Their Icon series of fragrances. And this one here, the title tells it all. Your top notes, you get some pear and you get some plum, which you do smell that coming into it, but what reigns supreme in this fragrance here is the tobacco leaf-like smell. It's not a really, really strong pipe tobacco, but the tonka bean and vanilla mix in the dry down with this one, amazing. Perfect for the fall season, and it actually does have enough kick to go into the winter, but to me, it comes to the forefront with the fall, and you do get a little bit of a coconut nuance in this fragrance as well. Next one. Wow, actually overall, in my list, you'll notice that I'm gonna keep like discontinued fragrances at a minimum, hence why, what's the name of that fragrance? I'll think of it in a second. Next one, Yves Saint Laurent L'Homme Les Intenses. While rumored to be discontinued, and I don't see it in a lot of lists as far as people's lists are concerned and in stores. Very, very spicy scent. Top notes of Italian citron, white pepper, and some bergamot. Heart notes, to name a few, orange blossom and violet leaf. And as it dries down, you get some suede as far as leather, which is more of a smoother, creamier version of leather, and some cedar wood. Very, very excellent scent. To me, once you put your nose on this one, it gives you fall vibes all day long. And hence the color of the juice, once again, it gives you a sophisticated version of a scent profile within that L'Homme family of fragrances. And it's not as playful as some of the other ones. And the fragrance that I was thinking about was Paco Rabanne's 1 Million Lucky. Another nice fall offering, but I didn't put it in this list due to it being rumored to be discontinued, and it's actually made some other list of mine, so I wanted to give some that don't really get that much love some love. Next one, we're going to the house of Rojas with Moustache Eau de Parfum. Rumored to be one of the better clones at one point in time for Yves Saint Laurent Tuxedo, or expired by. And there's some other ones out that I plan to get my hands on that are supposed to be better when it comes to cloning that scent DNA. Top notes for this one, mandarin orange, pink pepper, heart notes of Atlas cedar, Bulgarian rose, base notes of benzoin and patchouli. A very, very spicy but mandarin orange heavy scent in the opening. And then as you dry down, the benzoin and patchouli actually comes in and takes over the show as far as this fragrance. To me, perfect for fall and in winter time. But to me, it comes to the forefront a little bit best because it's very resinous and just gives you that fall feeling when you spray it on your skin. Awesome scent profile. That for around that $50 price point on discounters, it's a very, very good option for the fall. Next one, within a family that don't get a lot of love within that family. Other ones are talked about more, but we got Versace Pour Homme Noir. Sometimes actually compared to the Tom Ford Oud Wood scent profile. To me, I can see a little bit of the resemblance, but to me, this one's a little bit more resinous, a little bit more spicy, with top notes of pepper, neroli, and bitter orange, but you do get some of that nuances, but a lot of that pepper. Hard notes of frankincense, cardamom, saffron, base notes of oud, patchouli, and leather wood. But with this one here, it's very, very spicy in the opening. You do get some of that frankincense that peeks its way in there with the black pepper and the spice. And then as it dries down, it's not a huge oud blast that you get in this one, but it is prevalent and with a woody dry down that you get that gives you that wood nuance, but it also gives you a little bit just of a woody base. But the saffron does peek its way in there way more to me than necessarily a Tom Ford Oud Wood would give. Perfect for the fall. Next one. A cheapie that's talked about a lot in the fragrance community, and that's Guess 1981, Los Angeles. While to me, the best place to find this one is in your local Burlington's rack store runs. Very, very affordable for about that $20 price point. And to me, you do get the Versace Eros DNA within this one here, but to me, it's a little smoother, a little bit more grown up and grown and sexy when it comes to Versace Eros until you get all the way up to the parfum concentration. It being real, real playful, known for being a clubbing type of scent profile, a little bit more for the younger men of side of things. This one here kind of gets its grown and sexy on, but it's perfect for the fall and very, very affordable at that $20, $25 price point at discounters or at your rack stores when you run into it. Next one, Azzaro, The Most Wanted. I ain't smelled this one in a while. Very, very sweet. And has a little bit of playfulness in it. Top notes of cardamom, heart notes of toffee, and base notes of bourbon, vanilla, and vetiver. Does give a little bit of a gourmand type of nuance to it. And as it dries down, after you get that cardamom blast in the opening, you get a little bit of that toffee / caramel-like smell in the mid. As it dries down, and even though it's not listed in these notes, you get that vanilla nuance. And to me, I want to say there's some tonka bean in there, but it's not listed in the notes. But that's kind of the nuance that I get. A mixture of that with that bourbon vanilla and a hint of vetiver kind of weaving in and out of there. To me, one that's well talked about within not only the fragrance community, just in your common regular stores being Dillard's, Macy's, and things of that magnitude. They keep Azzaro fragrances in there. Now, I will say they come and go and they sell really, really fast, but it's one that I would definitely recommend that you get your nose on and potentially get you one from discounters. They have a Most Wanted parfum that's got a little bit of a boozy nuance to it, but it still gives you that toffee and sweet nuances to it. This one I like a whole lot, but I like to get my hands on that parfum version as well. Fall approved for sure. Next one. Headed to the house of Afnan with a fairly new to the collection, 9 p.m. Often compared and inspired by Jean Paul Gaultier's Ultramar. But to me, this is a superior fragrance, if you ask me. And with this one here, one thing that makes it quite a bit different from that scent profile comes with a pear note in the opening. That in this one here, you get an apple note. That's very, very prevalent. Top notes of apple, lavender, cinnamon, and bergamot. Heart notes, lily of the valley, orange blossom. Base notes, tonka bean, vanilla, amber, and patchouli. But what reigns supreme in this one is that opening with the apple note, and as it dries down, you get the tonka bean, you get the vanilla, and a hint of patchouli and amber. This one here lasts, first off, about 3 or 4 hours longer than my experience with Ultramall. But this one here is also stronger. So you want to control the sprays with this one, but it can not only work in the fall, it can also work in the winter. And it's a very playful scent profile, but to me, for the money, it reigns supreme over the Jean Paul Gaultier to me. So I would recommend this one over that. Next one. Another one rumored to be discontinued, but you can still definitely get you a bottle of this one for now. On discount, it'd be a Jamba Shop. It's Prada Luna Rosa Black. Very, very unique scent profile, if you ask me. With that angelica root in the top notes and bergamot, heart notes of cormon and patchouli, and base notes of amber. But to me, the angelica root / hint of bergamot coming in there, which just gives it a very, very unique scent profile. It's not one of those scent profiles that you run across on an everyday basis. And to me, I think it's excellent for the fall because it has that kick that can push through the breezy fall temperatures, but also still kick over in the winter. And you can take this fragrance here and actually dress it up, and it can always go backwards as far as all the way down to a t-shirt or whatever. But to me, I like collared shirts on up to a suit because it's a very, very mysterious scent profile that most people don't necessarily expect, and it don't necessarily get the love always that it deserves within this Luna Rosa line. Next one, my buddy Ross's fragrance, Evening Mystique by Zara. A very, very spicy offering from Zara. And to name off a few, it also has that angelica root in it as far as fragrance notes. It has coriander, some carrot seed. Once you get into the heart notes, you get some incense. You definitely get some rose in there. And the Florentine iris is top tier when it comes to the iris in regards to these notes. And then when you get to that base notes, you get that olibanum and the resins. So it's a very resinous, spicy fragrance. You get top tier iris in this thing here, and this is another one that you can dress up from about how I'm dressed now on up to a tuxedo. It's very, very versatile in the sense of instances when you can actually use this thing here, but it provides a iris based fragrance that is and has set itself apart from other just run of the mill iris fragrances. One that's perfect for the fall, even down to the coloration of that bottle. Next one, by the House of Nishane, Hasibat. Often compared to Creed Aventus, but to me, with the exception of that strong pineapple opening, it has its own personality, if you ask me. And the strong oat moss within the dry down, to me, sets it apart from saying that it smells just like Aventus, because where Aventus is smoky with the birch tar and so on and so forth, this one is like high on the oat moss category. So you get some fruits, being the pineapple and the grapefruit in that open, but as it dries down, it gets woody and very mossy with the oat moss, which puts it more on a mature basis as far as that scent profile overall, and it's a little bit more powerful, if you will, for me. That's why I would do the Creed Aventus colognes, regular Aventus, in the warmer weathers, and this one in the cooler weather, because this one sticks around a little longer. May not necessarily project as heavy, but it sticks around longer and gives you a stronger scent bubble. And last but not least, a very new entry to my collection, and that's by Lalique, Ombre Noir. Once again, an ambery colored juice. And with this one here, rumored to be discontinued, but right now you can still get it on Jamba Shop at a decent price, because if you go to their website, it's like $140. Jamba Shop, you can get it for about $70, a little around half of that. Top notes, you get some peppermint and some fig leaf and Italian bergamot. Heart notes, frankincense, tobacco, cinnamon, papyrus. Base notes, cedar wood, cognac, myrrh, and tonka bean. But the notes that reign supreme in this fragrance here is that cinnamon, which cinnamon is like the perfect note for the fall time. You get some cognac in there, so it's definitely boozy and a little bit resinous with the myrrh. But the tobacco leaf kind of peeks his head in there, so it's not the pipe moist tobacco smell, but you do get a smoky nuance as far as this fragrance is concerned. But this composition is perfect for the fall. The booziness is strong, hangs out for probably the first couple hours, 2-3 hours. This one here gives you about a good 7-8 hours of longevity, and it just puts you in that mood with that minty nuance in the top with the cinnamon intertwined in it. And as it continues to go on, that cinnamon sticks around for the lifetime of the fragrance. And then when you get down to the fact that it's boozy and a little bit resinous, it's an awesome scent profile. One that I'm glad I discovered. Not for sure if I'm going to get me a backup bottle, but I will say it's definitely backup bottle worthy. And as you can see right here, this is your fall list right here for 2023. If you don't have at least a couple of these in your collection, you might want to get your nose on them. And then I would like to see in the comments what you guys have adorned as perfect autumn fragrances. And then let me know what you think. And then I'll give you some feedback, and maybe come next year, if you give me some really, really good recommendations I can get my nose on, I can add it to the collection. Peace.